Geekdom.com/radio.
It's time to gather around the radio for another episode of Comic.Church, hosted by Pastor Drew, the Fairy Godbro, the Reverend Sith Lord himself, Jesse Stay, and the Monsignor of Marvel, Sean Ray. Broadcasting live from the K-Talk Studios, KBJA 1640 AM, and streaming live with video on Facebook. And now, Comic.Church.
Welcome to Comic.Church.
How was that intro?
That our newly cut intro. How'd you like it?
I loved it. Drew put that together, and it's really good. I really like it.
I tried. Joining us from remote, Sean, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me good?
We can hear you. Oh, I should start
great.
recording this for the archive. There we go.
That's a good idea.
We are now
beautiful.
recording this.
Yeah, I love that intro that you just put up. I mean, it really inspired me and made me really excited.
So Sean, what are you wearing today? That sounds really interesting.
I do have some Star Wars shirts. My Star Wars shirt. I've got, of course, my matching Star Wars socks. On one side, it's Princess Leia, on the other, it's Darth Vader.
Perfect.
Yeah, I see you also joined us on Facebook.
Yeah, I wish I could show you. I was. The big thing is what were you wearing yesterday? Yesterday was Stan Lee's, as we know, his 96th birthday, and a lot of people are trying to petition that's like an official Stan Lee day. So they had a lot of people asking people, where are your Marvel shirts? And I got a really cool Stan Lee Marvel shirt for Christmas, and of course I had to represent and wear that.
See, I live in the Star Wars universe, so I'm not as loyal to Stan Lee as many people. I know that's heresy here. I'm trying to get into it, but I really love the Marvel movies. And
imagine
yesterday was a special day.
Imagine what could be possible if all the worlds are accessible and you just don't have to choose.
I know. I think I just posted something like that on Facebook. What if we're all true?
Well, that'll be one of my things for the years. I need to get you a Marvel shirt or something like that.
I think I need one. I'm trying to think. My ex-wife, she gave me a Harry Potter a Harry Potter Muggle shirt because I didn't have anything Harry Potter at the time. I don't think I have anything Marvel. I do have a 3D printout of myself as Iron Man. I need to share that sometime.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was made by a local company. Cool. I think they're called 3D and Me. My friend Sid Tetro ran it, and they make these cool 3D printouts. They'll scan you, and then they make these 3D printouts of yourself as different characters.
So they 3D printed you as a Iron Man action figure.
Yeah, I have one. I have one of me as Iron Man, and the same company under a different name, same people under a different name. They were working for Disney at the time. Did another one of me at Disney World of me in Carbonite as Han Solo in Carbonite. It's pretty cool too.
Oh my gosh,
that was pretty. Those are prizes in my collection. I'll bring them sometime. I forgot I had those.
Definitely prizeworthy. Prizeworthy.
Yeah.
So back to what Sean was saying. Yesterday was a high holy day here in the comic universe, and at Comic.Church we'd like to celebrate those high holy days. So. Let's pause and give thanks to the universe for giving us Stan Lee and the Marvel universe. And I brain farted. I can't believe that. But
if you really want a really good tribute to Stan Lee, go watch the new Deadpool and stay all the way. I'm not spoiling anything. Stay all the way until after the credits. When I went. No one stayed until after the very end credits, and there's an amazing tribute to Stan Lee at the end.
Really?
That is very worth seeing. That was worth seeing the entire movie in edited form. I personally didn't like the new Deadpool because it was edited.
Yeah.
but but that
is there an
ending
unedited
was worth
version
it.
of it?
It's Deadpool 2 that
Okay,
it's
so-
it's Deadpool 2 that is edited
Okay, so it's just a re-release
with a
Yeah.
narration by Fred
Fred
Savage.
Savage. Or it's
As-
the
as-
thing
that
where
was
they,
good.
Yeah,
he takes
as a
Fred Savage
spoof
and
on
ties him to the bed, and they read him the book.
Yeah.
making fun of Princess Bride.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
I will have to see that.
you get, see it for that.
The last movie I saw was The Avengers. So I've been out of the theater for most of the summer. So I need to get in there. And,
Yeah, there's some good movies this year. Really good movies, especially like right now. There's there's really really good stuff on now, both in the movie theaters and I was just talking about, and maybe we could talk about this a little later. I don't know, but I was on Netflix, the new Black Mirror.
Oh, Bandersnatch.
It's choose your own adventure, Black Mirror, and you can go, and it's all around the theme of living in multiple realities, and basically you as the viewer are living in multiple realities. You have to go back and do it multiple times. I had to go back, and I wanted to experience every single ending.
Yeah.
So I went through, and,
Okay.
and I made just about every single choice I could in the movie. I think it takes like 5 hours. I wasn't paying attention. And it was beautiful just from an artistic standpoint. It's a beautiful movie. I recommend it.
Yeah, so
I've
that's
heard that, and I heard that you can find the timeline and you can see, the different endings, and you can look it up online to see, where it all takes and everything like that. And, I'm curious because I used to read a lot of books when I was younger that was, read your own ending and stuff like that. And I'm wondering, a lot of movies are going to start going this way, especially the Netflix. They're going to start going this route and kind of like choose your own ending.
Yeah.
I really hope so. Both that way, both the choose your own adventure style. Plus, I think we're, a couple years away from a VR storytelling, choose your own adventure, and interact that way. And I'm really excited about that.
History
too.
repeats itself, and I remember when the books were they were the bomb. That was we buy the books one after another. And their knockoffs that started to come out in different forms, and I think we'll see the same thing now with movies using Netflix in this format. I think it's a really the way that Black Mirror was the perfect one to do it because it simulated the idea of living in multiple realities at the same time.
Well, and I also love the idea with Black Mirror, which is something that they've done throughout the whole series. It's basically a thought exercise.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we have this technology, we have these things, society where we have social media, what if we use social media like a credit score? And it's these thought exercises of, okay, on the trajectory that we're currently headed, is this where we really want to go?
Yeah.
And if we go, this is what could happen. And that is quintessential sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Gene Roddenberry was doing with the original Star Trek series. Same with Doctor Who. Using sci-fi to present these thought exercises. Like, okay, you want your future, you want your technology.
Yeah.
Let's show us how it might go wrong.
And
so you can make the choice. Do you want to go that route? Do you want to put stopgap measures in, or just let it happen?
Yeah, and well, I used to be a computer programmer.
Yeah.
I still do a little bit. And I remember one of the companies I worked for was a educational company, and we built out tools to help kids in schools prepare for the standardized tests. But I was put on a side project. I always got pulled on the side projects when I did these things. Like if you go to this is a local company, you go to steepensheet.com.
That should be your nickname, Side Project Jesse.
Yes, Side Project Jesse. I used to be called the Sack Hacker at backcountry.com. I worked there on the forums for that because I did a lot on the steepensheet.com website that they own, and the little progress bars there that say how much inventory is left. I invented that idea as a side project that I got in a lot of trouble for doing until it was launched. Anyway, going back to programming in that company, the education company, I was pulled over on a side project, and I was assigned to come up with an interactive game of sorts to bring people through, and the thoughts that were going through my mind as I was building this were an idea called recursive. A recursive loop in programming. The idea is you start in a loop in the program, and that loop references a version of itself. So it goes deeper and deeper into versions of itself, and you can utilize that same concept to create new forms of reality within an existing reality. And you can do all that.
So it's like
through
Inception.
logic.
So it's like
And
Inception.
It's very much like Inception, and the idea of any adventure game, any adventure movie, and such. If it's to evolve on its own, AI in many ways works through this type of means at a very high level.
Well, you also sound like you're talking a lot about what Elon Musk was talking about when it comes to existing in base reality, and that the chances of us existing in base reality are like some huge sum. It's like 1 in 100 million or something like that we exist in base reality. Because what if we're to the point virtual reality can be indistinguishable from reality? Probably within a decade. We're at that point.
Yep.
So if we're a decade away from that, what are the chances that perhaps we've already done it before?
Well,
And
there you're just getting back into the comics part of everything. Is think about it. I mean, with DC, there's 52 different worlds. There's 52 different projections of you. There's 52 different. That's just through DC. And look at the movie that just came out, the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
the Spider-Verse. There's multiple different realities. There's multiple yous that are out there, and what are you in a different world? What are you if you would have made different choices? What would I be like if I did get bit by that spider? How would things be different?
Well, and in quantum mechanics and quantum theory, for every decision you make, there's a version of you there that did make the opposite decision, and so you in the higher full realities decide both A and B. And you're Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah,
at this point.
you enter into new versions of yourself. I asked the question on Facebook earlier. I've been in a moment of zen of sorts lately. A very interesting place to be. And I asked the question, what if your pain was being experienced because you were trying to fix it? And that if you can come with questions like that in itself is a recursive loop, because you're trying to fix your pain, but the pain already exists, and you're kind of going further and further deep into that question.
Yeah.
But it gets you thinking in a way that utilizing utilizing a problem, you're turning into a solution and going deeper and deeper into it as a further and further solution, and that brings you into new realities, new versions of yourself, new red pills. It's really cool, and you get in the comic universe and such. I mean, that's what the comic universe touches on, is the idea and these questions of they try to answer these what ifs in different scenarios.
I like that.
Yeah. A lot of that goes back to, you ever played the old Star Wars game Shadows of the Empire, where you could go through and the choices that you made throughout the game bring you further to the dark side or further to the light side, or further from, or if you go in there and you could do something to one of these other people that are in the game, and it'll get you closer to becoming the dark side, or vice versa.
Yeah, and I love how they're trying to answer now what is the dark side and what is the light side, and is there a lot of difference between the two?
And what would happen if you embrace both your light and dark and find balance?
Yes,
So
that's
much
what balance
on there.
is.
I hear music, which means we need to pay some bills. But you're listening to Comic.Church on K-Talk, AM 1640, real local two-way talk. We'll be right back after this.
Hey there, comic book fans and believers in all things geekdom. This is Pastor Drew, the Fairy God Bro, and I just want to let you know that all of us here at Comic.Church are working hard to build a place that we can all come to, a place of refuge, a place to be edified by the universes that inspire us the most. and this show, it's just the launching off point. We invite you to subscribe to our podcast, Church, using your favorite podcasting service. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, and more. Also, please like our Facebook page, Church on K-Talk. On our page, you'll have a chance to interact with us live each Sunday. Plus, you'll have a chance to hear from us as we post our thoughts, inspirational somethings, and whatnots all throughout the week. We have so much in store for 2019 and into the future, and we invite you to come along and be a part of it. We at Comic.Church know exactly how important fans are, and we thank you for taking a chance and being our fans.
When it's cold outside, warm up with the hottest live local two-way talk. K-Talk Media, 1640 AM.
The essence of sales is transferring enthusiasm to the customer. K-Talk Media is looking for people who have an unabashed enthusiasm for live local radio and who would love to share the message of our station with businesses who would like to tap into our large, loyal audience. Do you want a fun, energetic, and rewarding position with a company that makes a difference? Then join our team and feel the love. Full, part-time, or anytime positions available with great compensation. Call us today, 801-253-4883, 801-253-4883, or go to ktalkmedia.com and shoot us a message.
Stay away from religious topics, not here on K-Talk. Listen each Sunday evening at 7 p.m. to The Interpreter Show for fascinating religious discussions, hot debates, and the latest in religious scholarship, archaeology, and ancient documents. Whether you're Catholic, Mormon, Protestant, agnostic, and atheist, or something else, you want to listen to The Interpreter Show Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. here on K-Talk. You gotta hear it.
Welcome back to Comic.Church on K-Talk, AM 1640. Real local two-way talk.
Good job, Drew.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm loving these little like the intro and then the demo. Drew put all this really cool stuff together for the show. I feel like I'm gonna break fourth wall here and talk about it. But good job.
In another life, I used to produce music, so
yeah,
producing radio intros is pretty easy. When it
Drew's been working. He's putting some beautiful stuff together. It sounds like.
Trying to make us sound legit, you guys. Is it working?
Don't make us sound too legit. Then people are like actually start getting information from us.
Yeah, imagine that.
No, we wouldn't want any of our listeners or fans to be inspired and actually moved by what we have to say.
I know. What's going on with that?
With great power comes great responsibility.
We actually got a caller last week.
we did, yes. So welcome back to Comic.Church. Joining us from remote is Sean, the Monsignor of Marvel. And
thank you.
Joining me across the table is the Sith Lord Reverend himself, Jesse Stay. And I'm Drew, your fairy god bro. Welcome.
We're having fun here.
We are. So we wanted to be chill. First of all, most of us are all on holiday still, or in a holiday mindset. So we wanted to just kind of relax, kind of look back on 2018. 2018 was a crappy year, but in the comic universe, it was an amazing year. We had a lot of great stuff come out in Geekdom, in the Geekdom realms this year. Yeah. And we want to review some of those. So, I mean, where should we start?
I think.
Well, let's go with Star Wars because there wasn't a whole lot of Star Wars. I was hoping.
I don't know how you look. I was hoping I would go last.
No, okay. I could go.
No, I don't mind. Yeah. So
here, let me cue you. But
go for it.
At Comic.Church, we're too poor, so we can't buy the licensing from Disney. But Disney can't license my mouth, so. Okay, go. That was my Star Wars.
That wasn't Star Wars.
No, I didn't go with that theme song because that actually might be licensed. I went with the secondary.
You're doing okay. Yeah. Okay, you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Drew's getting creative here.
well,
great.
also trying to make sure that Disney doesn't sue us out of existence.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wouldn't be hard.
Technically, the music itself is also owned, and we have to pretend. Maybe we change one note or something. Okay. So Star Wars.
Yes.
This year we had the release.
We get so distracted easily on the show.
Yeah. We had the release of Han Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
And that
wasn't
came out.
received well in the theaters, but was actually a really good movie.
Yeah, I'm mixed on it myself.
Yeah.
I thought that it. I mean, there were no really huge surprises per se, but there were some really interesting additions to the storyline of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And if I'm completely off on this, I mean, call me out. But I mean, for the Star Wars geek, and I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler alert here. If you haven't seen Han Solo Star Wars story, just mute it for just a second. The very end of Han Solo Star Wars story, Darth Maul comes out and makes a reappearance after he's supposedly dead. And for the average person, that's gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
I love how you give spoilers, though. Can you imagine, just traditional church, the pastor's like, okay, if you haven't
alert,
if you haven't read from the book of
yet.
Luke, in this
I
case,
know.
the book of Luke Skywalker,
Maybe we need to treat it like normal church. You just need to know, if you haven't read the Bible,
you're wrong.
you're wrong. No.
If you haven't seen all the Star Wars, you're wrong.
That's right. But so Darth Maul comes out, and
Yeah.
I mean, for the Bible readers out there, we all know that Darth Maul came back to life in the Clone Wars. He comes back with robotic legs, and he lived after going through the abyss, chopped in half.
Yeah.
And very similar to Luke Skywalker going down. That's why I still think that Han Solo might still be alive. But he actually comes back in the movies this time.
Okay.
And now that opens up all sorts of possibilities for a Darth Maul movie, maybe, or some other.
And that's one of the
similar...
great things about comic book geekdom is no one's really dead.
Yep.
You don't. No,
Oh.
death is not the end.
Yep. You can't.
Yeah.
There's an interesting video that Kevin Spacey tried to put together this last week, trying to make his re-entry after his whole scandal. Suggesting that you never saw him die. Anyway, I'm referring to House of Cards if anyone watches that. But going back to the Darth Maul, so that opened up a whole new level. I thought that was one of the most interesting parts. But I do think, just seeing, it was a good movie. I mean, it was a nice, entertaining, good movie. It wasn't like your just epic Star Wars trilogy member, but it was a good addition, I thought.
Well, with some of these movies, it's hard because we already know what's going to happen. We already know that Han Solo is going to live.
Yeah.
We already know that Chewbacca is going to, they're going to get together. So a lot of it, those build-ups and stuff, there wasn't a ton of it. There was those that's how he got his blaster. That's how he met Chewbacca.
Yeah.
There was more of those. There wasn't, a lot of those
in the storyline.
Those big, gasping moments, how is this going to end? What is going to happen? But yeah, like you said, the first time I watched it, it was just kind of But the more I watched it, the second time, the third, fourth, fifth time, it was it got a lot better. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great movie.
Rogue One did the same thing to me. The more I watched it, the better it got. I need to watch Han Solo Star Wars story more, and that's my problem. I find some of them just get better because you catch little things that you didn't catch before and stuff. And those are the interesting things in these little side storylines that you watch.
I think it's also important, and fandom, we have our issues. There's so much toxicity within fandom.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that come out with the Star Wars, although later we learned that the Russians helped ferment a lot of that. But I think when we go to these movies, we expect like literally to be like transformed and do a whole new form and get happy endings and foot massages and we go into these movies expecting so much more that in any other reality it's a movie. Like you're going to go for your enjoyment.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, well, he did it this wrong and he did it that wrong and he should have done it that way. And you know what I say? If you want to be involved that much, go to school, become a filmmaker, and write your own damn movie.
Oh yeah,
But like,
exactly.
And so that really irks me when people, and I know none of us here at Comic Pastors do that, but we see it in fandom, just this toxicity. It's like they want their pony, they want their unicorn, and then when they don't get it, they throw a fit and try to burn down the entire fan universe because they didn't get their unicorn. And it's just it's tacky.
That's a really interesting parallel to life, though. I mean, some of
Yes,
us
I was
have
just
been
gonna say
parts
that.
of certain religions and backgrounds. I mean, we're pastors here, so but we come from those types of backgrounds, and it's easy to get offended in those backgrounds. And we can reject them. That's fine. But I do think a lot of us do get caught in this toxic mindset, and that's something I've had to come over. I'm still getting over, but I'm getting a lot better at in my own transition and faith evolution myself. A lot of people get stuck in that I call it limbo of constantly criticizing every little bit of something that you didn't even create. You can create your own story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is kind of my take on that same exact instance, is because when you go into a movie, you have such high expectations and you have it already played out in your head how you want it to be. And when it doesn't happen that way, you're pissed because they did it differently. They did it because I did it. I have been known. I did it with Spider-Man 3. I had the idea of what I wanted to see, and then when I went to the theater, I was so disappointed and pissed off. I still do not like that movie because I held that movie into such high regard and such anticipation that it disappointed me because I didn't see what I wanted to see. It wasn't my vision. It was the director's vision.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn that with life. This isn't what I'm planning. I mean, things happen and everything like that, and you've got to go with it. I can't go into something and expect so much. That's why so many people are like, what movie are you looking forward to the most? What movie, how are you looking forward? I just want to go in there and see, show me what you got. I just want to see a movie.
Exactly.
And if it's the way that I thought things are going to happen, cool. I can't think too highly into it because when it doesn't happen, I'm disappointed, and I'm disappointed in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Star Wars, hardcore fans either. We saw it, another 2018 in review. We saw it with the Star Trek fans. Star Trek came out with a new show, Discovery. And they stuck it behind a paywall, CBS, and I think that was probably the worst mistake they did make. Is because Les Moonves at CBS said, hey, those Star Trek fans, we can milk them for money, so let's give them a new Star Trek show and then put it behind a paywall where they have to buy the CBS All Access. So that kind of ticked off the Star Trek fans to begin with. Yeah. But then, the show. So I subscribe to CBS because, I'm a hardcore Star Trek fan. I'm waiting for my Gene Roddenberry future that I was promised. The show, it started off, I was a little harsh with it at first. They did things like attach bombs to the bodies of dead Klingons. So when the Klingons came to pick up their dead, it blew up their ship. Me as a veteran, I'm like, okay, that's a Geneva violation, Geneva Convention violation down there in Star Trek. That's not cool. But once I was able to let go of what I expected, it's a great story. It's a great storyline. They're going with the story arc, storytelling. So each story plays into the next. So the whole episode is like a full story, or the whole season is a full story. And it was really good. Yeah. And still a lot of fans, well, that's not what Gene Roddenberry. Well, guess what? Gene Roddenberry is dead. Bless his heart. Blessed be. Or praise be to praise be to Gene. Blessed be. He's gone. And the people that produced the Star Trek in the 90s, they've moved on. And you got these new people that are putting forth their vision, and that's their vision. And you know what? if you don't like it, go to film school, learn to become a writer, and write your own version. Like, and that's what we need to remind ourselves. Like, these are stories. Mm-hmm. We're being given these stories. If you don't like them,
these
choose
are all
not to like
retold
them.
stories of other older stories anyway that are just being told in new and better ways. We talk about this all the time.
Exactly, but also at the same time, had we not had Star Trek Discovery, we wouldn't have 20 episodes of a story arc that continue in the Star Trek universe, whether you like it or don't like it. There's fans. So we have it, it's like a gift. Stop saying, well, I don't like that gift. I don't like the color. I don't like how that person talked. I wish going into 2019, Geekdom can work on not being so
That's one of the biggest things is they're so overcritical about so many stupid little things. I'm just grateful that we have these shows and these movies coming out. I mean, there's so many people, like on the new Titan show, people were so pissed off that Starfire was cast as, a black lady. And, I've watched most of it, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
But so many people boycotted it because she was the wrong color. And, she's orange. She's an alien. Good hell. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's real quick finish some of the Star Wars year in review. I did want to just briefly talk about what's coming up. I mean, there are a few things, other things that happened in 2018. I think the most significant was Han Solo, but coming up 2019, we've got the new Star Wars Land at Disneyland.
I'm excited about
coming
that.
out.
Yeah,
I'm making plans.
It's looking amazing.
We should do a show from there.
We should. Let's see if we can get K-Talk to
California. I know the PR person there. We can get him to get us over there.
Yeah.
So.
Hey,
I would love that.
people.
I have to take some medication so that I can go there and not be in the crowd.
We should give away a vacation for that. I'm going to talk to my contact there.
Yeah. Hey, Disneyland people, expect a call from side jobs.
I know just the person. I get in free when I go and get like front row passes to all the places. It's really cool.
We should do that.
Oh wow!
Let's. I'll
even
if
we can't broadcast, maybe we'll just film it and put together a little special for our Comic.Church fans.
Yeah,
when they come back,
I think we can do it. Yep,
I think we can too.
That'll be fun. Okay, so we got that. We've got the final Star Wars comes out next year, doesn't it?
The final to the third trilogy.
Final to the third trilogy. I mean, that's long awaited, and very few spoilers have come out so far. I'm very excited for that. What others? Are there any other like major Star Wars events coming out?
What about that Mandalorian show? When does that come out?
Oh yeah.
The what show?
No.
The Mandalorian. I know a lot of this. They're kind of putting a lot of this on hold until their DC Plus app comes out, and that's when a lot of these shows will be on their app. It's the same thing with the CBS did, is where you're going to have Disney's new app in order to get a lot of their shows and stuff like that.
I hate that.
I
think
another way for them.
It's an abuse of the fans, and I think just like they're seeing in Star Trek, if you abuse your fans, they will leave you eventually.
They'll create their own.
They will, but we are getting. It is making it so that we are getting more movies. We are getting more shows. I mean, thinking back when I was younger, I wish I wish there was a TV show of Star Wars. Now there's going to be. I think they said I want to say around a 10-part miniseries of Star Wars, and it's not has anything to do with the Skywalkers or anything like that. It just has to take place in the Star Wars universe. And it's going to be like a 10-part miniseries or something like that. I mean, the budget's off the walls and everything like that. But I've heard that, and I've heard that they're doing a Mandalorian show as well.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think it's going to be a big year with the launch of Star Wars Land, which I am wearing my official Star Wars Episode 7 cast hat that I got from Lucasfilm.
Nice, another name.
This sits in my collection. I don't wear it very often.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. I think 2019 is going to bring a lot for both Star Wars and so much more. But we're going to commercial break. We'll be right back after this, and we'll continue talking about everything awesome coming our way in 2019. You listen to Church on K-Talk.
Kubota L2501 tractor is one of the best-selling compact tractors in America for a reason. They're comfortable, spacious, easy to control, and have a range of performance-matched implements to tackle all kinds of jobs. Right now, get a Kubota L2501 with a 6-year warranty, plus 0% APR financing for up to 60 months, or great customer instant rebates. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
When the fake news stations are slick as ice this winter, cut through with K-Talk Media, your favorite local talk station.
AARP is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to empowering Americans 50 and older to choose how they live as they age. No limits, no labels. Aging is changing. Visit aarp.org/UT for more information. Make the most of each day with AARP.
The weekend is coming, and you need to plan a date night. You could go to a movie and dinner, but there's nothing original about that. Here's a new and exciting idea. Take your date indoor shooting at the Armory Gun Range. Instead of renting a bowling lane or playing miniature golf,
Yay.
you can rent a shooting lane at the Armory Gun Range. Impress your spouse or your date with your original plan. The Armory can provide both guns and ammo, and rookies are welcome.
I would be excited if my boyfriend took me shooting. The Armory is located in Sandy at 9210 South and 248 West. The phone number is 801-447-1789. Again, that is 801-447-1789. You can also check out their website at armoryshootingrange.com. The range is open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
The Armory Gun Range, blowing holes in boring date nights.
Welcome back, comic fans. We now return to Comic.Church, leaving you right where we left off before the break. And now here's your host, Pastor Drew the Fairy Godbrother, the Monsignor of Marvel, Sean Ray, and the Reverend Sith Lord himself, Jesse Stay.
Welcome back. Welcome. We got some sci-fi sound effects coming. Oh, yeah. Is it time for Doctor Who? A little Doctor Who talk?
I used to have this LP.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, so this is Doctor Who. So for those that don't know, Doctor Who did a really big shake-up of their universe that also got their fans a little... Some of the fans miffed a little bit here in 2018. They went with a first female Doctor. So Peter Capaldi, Doctor number 12, regenerated into... why am I spacing her name now? Jodie. I'm blanking her name. I am an awful Doctor Who fan. Anyways, she regenerated as a woman, and a lot of people are like, "How? I don't know about that." And you know, we hear this these in all fandom, like, "Hey, what if we do a Indiana Jones, but Indiana Jones is a girl this time?" Or what if we do Ghostbusters, but the Ghostbusters are girls this time? And you know, you have a lot of pushback. So Doctor Who regenerated. Jodie Whittaker. Thank you. So the Doctor regenerated as a woman, and I must say,
The 13th Doctor.
And it was an amazing season of Doctor Who this year. The showrunner also changed. For those that are familiar with BBC, there was another show called Broadchurch, which also featured Doctor number 10, David Tennant, who was a police investigator, and then Jodie...
Purple Man?
Pardon?
Purple Man and Jessica Jones?
Yes. Yep. Say one and the same. So that was Doctor number 10, and he was on Broadchurch with Jodie Whittaker, who was the mother of the victim that he was investigating the murder. And so now she's the Doctor, and the showrunner from Broadchurch is now the showrunner for Doctor Who. Wow. And so it was an amazing. It was a shift. You could definitely tell the show's a little bit different than it was the prior seasons.
Yeah,
but
that's the beautiful thing about Doctor Who, though, is they can reinvent it every single
exactly.
season.
There's a device for the Doctor, because when so for those that aren't Doctor Who fans, when the Doctor dies or receives like a mortal wound, he's a Time Lord. So Time Lords, what they do is they'll regenerate. And they regenerate into a whole new body, but it's the same person, same memories, same consciousness, but in a new body.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
So, the Doctor regenerated into Jodie Whittaker, and it's an
I'm still
amazing
working on my
season.
regeneration capabilities.
I've almost got it down. But no, like what I think my favorite this season has one of my top 5 favorite episodes of all of Doctor Who. And I mean, I now have the Brit box, so I got like season 1 of Doctor Who from back in 1965. Like I've seen them all. So and most Doctor Who fans, they have their favorites. They'll have their a big favorite is from Doctor number 11 with Vincent Van Gogh or Van Gogh.
Oh, that's a good one.
That I cannot watch that episode without crying, especially at the end. So that's one of the ones that's in my top 5, probably top 3.
Yeah.
But this season, Doctor number 13, they did an episode with Rosa Parks.
Ooh.
And holy cow, that was one of those episodes where it's like hairs standing up on your on every part of your body, just totally moving. It moved me.
Huh.
And then, of course, you have those fans like, oh, they're just being PC. No, they're being sci-fi.
And they're also taking advantage of a unique opportunity of having a woman as Doctor Who.
Exactly.
Which
and with sci-fi, with all the sci-fi universes, we have our ability to tell current issues, culture issues, and almost tell it in a parable.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with mythology. So, we can see ourselves in that same situation. In 2018 is an episode where the Doctor goes back in time to the Rosa Parks and her sit-in on the Montgomery bus system. Like, is I don't know, is that important to retell in 2018? Are there any parallels that we might need to get off of that one? Are we slipping back into old ways? And that's what I love about sci-fi.
Yeah.
Is we can tell these stories, and like I said in the previous, in a thought exercise. Oh, I forgot to bring the video back.
I was wondering. I wasn't sure if that was that was delayed or not.
Sorry
Facebook.
Anyways, that's the one thing I love about sci-fi is that we can tell these current, and you'll have your people. Oh, that's political correctness. Well, yeah. Stop being a jerk and we don't have to tell the stories. But that's what I really love about these universes. But yeah, so Doctor Who went female this year. And Jodie Whittaker has announced that she's returning as the Doctor again for another season. And this is my favorite part. So normally Doctor Who, we get a Christmas special. On Christmas Day, there's always a new Doctor Who. And that's been the pattern. This year we didn't. But we're getting a New Year's Day episode. So on Tuesday on BBC America is a brand new special with Doctor Who, and we're getting an enemy, a very popular and very evil and deadly enemy from the Doctor's past is coming back.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of. No.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible, but these are the Daleks.
Yeah, Disney has to buy them first.
Yeah, no, Disney, please do not buy Doctor Who.
Oh, no.
Please don't.
They probably own them some way indirectly at this point anyway.
But BBC America on New Year's Day, brand new Doctor Who episode. Make sure you tune in. And no, we're not getting paid, but if BBC would like to sponsor us and pay us to promote their stuff here over in the States, we love that opportunity.
Because we won't always talk about you. This is a unique.
So get in touch with Jesse. He seems to be the person to connect with.
I could help.
So let's see, 2018. What are some other things? Like 2018 was a rough year for a lot of people.
We had. I mean, it's actually been a really big comic year, though. I mean, you've got anywhere from, and it seems to have culminated just really beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean, from the Avengers, and
And I think we'll spend a lot of the second hour in Marvel.
Yeah,
Marvel
and we
universe.
can get more into that. So from Marvel universe on that. What was the other one that came to mind recently? That my mind just went completely blank.
Which universe?
I want to say DC universe, but I'm.
They don't matter.
They always. If it's Superman, man. If it's Superman, don't get me started on Superman. Although the recent Supermans are depressing.
We kid. I remember a couple weeks ago, someone's like, "Hey, what about the DC universe?" We're like, "DC who?"
They're starting to revive themselves. The new Wonder Woman stuff and
that's the thing.
Aquaman was great.
Yeah,
they have
Aquaman. That's the other one. Yeah,
they have these great standalone characters, like the Superman, the new Superman. I guess now the old one. Since they
that
canned
was
him.
What I was going to say. DC, when they do a standalone character movie,
they're amazing.
Look at Man of Steel was awesome.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman was one of the greatest movies. Comic movies of all time, and now they've done Aquaman, and they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
I never thought I would be as excited and have those giggly moments in the theater watching an Aquaman movie.
Yeah.
But
then they join these universes together, and it's just like they fall apart. It's like they're trying too hard to be Marvel.
They want an Avengers, and which is a moneymaker.
Yeah,
and,
but there's already an Avengers. They have their own universe, and that's the problem. Is they're trying to be somebody else.
Yep.
And we'll just cross this over to a church episode right now. They're not living authentically.
Yeah.
And anytime anybody doesn't live authentically, they are not the best versions of themselves.
Yeah.
They're counterfeit. And so,
and to say honestly, they do have some of the biggest, most well-known characters of all time. I mean, but the way that they're utilizing them, they're not doing it right. They're not playing with what they have. They're trying to play with other people's toys with what they've got, and it's not working for them.
Yeah, it's like they're in drag. It's like the DC universe is trying to do Marvel drag, but then pretend
it's not working.
It's not like be DC, be yourself, be the best DC you can be. But here's the thing, Star Wars I think is trying to also in some way
they're getting there,
copy the Marvel thing, with the sarcasm, the jokes and stuff like that, and it works for Marvel, but it doesn't work in every universe, and especially now, so in the Star Wars universe, we know that Princess Leia in real life is also a script doctor. She goes, and one of her part-time jobs for decades was she would go in and repolish scripts and the dialogue and put in her humor.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those things, and so I'm kind of nervous with her gone now that they're just going to try to let's hire the Marvel people to write, because we're all part of the same company now.
Yeah.
They could write some of our jokes, and Marvel banter only works in the Marvel universe. Like,
yeah, I think. I mean, George Lucas ran into this problem with Phantom Menace and the 1, 2, and 3, and that I don't think he gave enough leeway to the actors in those movies to do what they're good at, and I think what the original Star Wars had was that they had some amazing actors that were able to have artistic leeway in who they were.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made Star Wars beautiful. And I think the more that anywhere from DC to Marvel to Star Wars, the more these movies let them do that, the better. I mean, you see that's why Marvel is so beautiful, and is in many ways you catch the personalities of the actors themselves in the movie. And you're starting to see less and less of that in the other universes.
Well, the other universes, we see them trying to act like the Marvel universe. Yeah. And, it kind of goes back to the DC thing. Like, if we could keep these universes, just be your authentic self. Like, imagine if Doctor Who tried to now copy Marvel. And, imagine if Star Trek decided to start copying Marvel. And because, that's successful, everyone, let's recreate what they did. And then again, we come back to it. Now no one's authentic. You know, now let's run that parallel to our own life. You know, oh, I like that person. I want to be like them. No, be like you.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone stop copying each other. It's getting old.
I hear you.
Reruns. Tired of reruns.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking we should turn this into a Choose Your Own Adventure episode. And if you want to know if you have something you want us to talk about, comment on our Facebook page at facebook.com/churchonktalk. I also just started a Facebook watch party.
Oh, nice. Is that
public?
what you got over
If
there?
you go to Jesse Stay on Facebook, I'm just find the first public thing. I don't post a lot of things public, but so get on there and
also,
join us.
You mentioned as far as joining us, if you feel like you are that deep into the spirituality of comics like we are, and you want to come on be a guest host and share your message of hope, and join us here on a Sunday, you know, message us on our Facebook page. Let us know. We'd love to.
I'm looking at you, Brian Brandenburg, and Dan Farr.
Yeah, let's get him on. I'd love to have him on.
Let's get him on.
So yeah, let us know. We're
sorry, Brian, for slaughtering your
visitors.
name.
Welcome, visitors welcome here at Comic.Church.
Yeah. Well, kind of just keep on the subject of the DC and everything like that. I mean, they haven't all been flops and everything. Did you guys watch that Teen Titans Go animated movie this year?
No,
I missed that one.
It was pretty good, and it was beautiful because they were able to make fun at themselves along with every other character and every other universe that is out there.
We like that. Hey, we're coming up to the top of the hour, so stick with us, and we'll be back 6 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to Comic.Church on K-Talk, AM 1640, real, local, two-way talk. We'll be right back.
At Discover, we believe anniversaries should be a time of celebration, not obligation. That's why we think annual fees are ridiculous. And now, just for giving us a try, we're going to give new card members a one-year anniversary gift they'll never forget. At the end of your first year, we'll match all the cash back you've earned dollar for dollar. No caps and no catches, because we know if you try us, you'll like us. And that's worth every penny. Try it and believe it at discover.com/match. Cashback match offer only for new card members. Limitations apply.
Howdy, folks. I'm Colonel Sanders. When I told folks my signature KFC pot pie was filled with delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, veggies, and topped in a golden flaky crust and only cost $3.99, they said I was crazy. And maybe I was, because that was 1980, and $3.99 was a lot of money back then. But today, getting a meal that size for just $3.99 is a really great deal. So stop into a KFC and get yourself a pot pie. It's finger-licking good. At participating KFCs for a limited time. Prices may vary. Tax extra.
Whether it's for weight loss, blood sugar control, or just overall health, millions of people have been helped by low-carb diets, also known as ketogenic diets. But for most people, it's hard to get the right balance of protein and nutrition needed to succeed, especially when on the go. That's why Longevity created Keto FX bars and shakes. They work together as a low-carb, high-protein team to help you thrive on your low-carb diet. When you grab a Keto FX shake, you get 21 grams of high-quality whey protein with 0 net carbs. Our Keto FX bar gives you 18 grams of protein with only 1 gram of net carbs. And we didn't sacrifice flavor over function. Delicious and filling.
You're listening to the all-new K-Talk Media, KBJA 1640 AM, Sandy, Salt Lake, and the entire Wasatch Front, bringing you live, local, two-way talk.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Michael Harrington. President Trump's administration has faced widespread criticism in the mainstream media over the deaths of 2 Guatemalan children at the border this month. But he's blaming Democrats on what he calls their pathetic immigration policies that allow people to make the long trek thinking they can enter our country illegally. Mr. Trump tweeted his comments yesterday, his first on the deaths of 8-year-old Felipe Gomez Alonso on Christmas Eve and 7-year-old Jacqueline Call on December the 8th. The new year will bring pay raises for some workers.
New minimum wage requirements will take effect in 20 states and nearly 24 cities. The state wage hikes range from an extra nickel per hour in Alaska to a $1 an hour hike in Maine, Massachusetts, and for California employees with more than 25 workers. The largest employers in Seattle will have to pay workers at least $16 an hour in the new year. Increases are also on the way in Missouri and Arkansas as a result of voter-approved ballot initiatives. I'm Shelley Antler.
The Supreme Court term has steered clear so far of drama since the tumultuous confirmation hearings for Justice Brett Kavanaugh. The next few weeks, though, will test whether the calm can last.
The justices will confront a lot of high-profile appeals when they gather in January. Those appeals are on abortion restrictions, workplace discrimination, gerrymandering, and more. There are signs already that conservative justices are willing to take on controversial cases, even though Chief Justice John Roberts seems intent on staying above the political fray. Chief Justice Roberts has essentially become the court's swing vote since the retirement of Justice Anthony Kennedy.
Correspondent Andrew Stewart, the court gets back to work January 4th. More than a dozen people dead in election-related violence in Bangladesh as people across the country vote on whether to give Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina a third term. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
An updated complaint in Massachusetts lawsuit against Purdue Pharma claims that members of the family that owns the OxyContin maker are personally responsible for fueling abuse of the deadly drug.
The filing in Suffolk Superior Court expands on the lawsuit the state filed in June against the drug makers, 16 current and former executives, and members of the Sackler family, which owns the company. The suit asserts that the Sacklers controlled a deceptive sales campaign by Purdue aimed at getting more people on higher doses of opioids to boost profits. Several states and localities have sued Stamford, Connecticut-based Purdue, which has denied the allegations.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Britain's defense secretary says the country could establish new military bases in the Caribbean and Far East after Britain leaves the EU. Gavin Williamson telling the Sunday Telegraph the expansion would be part of a strategy.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas from your friends.
I'm a pretty healthy guy. Running a growing business means I'm always running. Not many can keep up with me. But you know who can? Grainger. When it comes to getting me the answers I need right when I need them, Grainger moves just as fast as I do. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're a good running partner because no matter what problem I have or question, Grainger's got my back. Call clickgrainger.com or stop by. Grainger. For the ones who get it done.
Jimmy John's Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh.
I'm calling because I saw one of your delivery persons today, and he was totally naked.
Ma'am, I sincerely want to apologize for any...
Buck naked right there on the street.
Ma'am, we're doing all we can to...
And I say it's about darn time.
I know, and I'm gonna... Wait, what?
The human body is a beautiful thing, don't you agree?
Well,
We've suffered the tyranny of clothing for way too long.
Okay, but...
So thanks, Jimmy John's, for going all natural.
Actually, ma'am, it's our meats that are all natural.
Say what now?
Our meats are all natural. Wood smoked ham, choice roast beef, real fresh turkey breast, all natural and freaky fresh.
So I don't suppose I can expect all natural delivery in the future.
No.
Darn.
The essence of...
Hey there, comic book fans and believers in all things geekdom. This is Pastor Drew, the Fairy God Bro, and I just want to let you know that all of us here at Comic.Church are working hard to build a place that we can all come to, a place of refuge, a place to be edified by the universes that inspire us the most. And this show, it's just the launching off point. We invite you to subscribe to our podcast, Church, using your favorite podcasting service. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, and more. Also, please like our Facebook page, Church on K-Talk. On our page, you'll have a chance to interact with us live each Sunday. Plus, you'll have a chance to hear from us as we post our thoughts, inspirational somethings, and whatnots all throughout the week. We have so much in store for 2019 and into the future, and we invite you to come along and be a part of it. We at Comic Church know exactly how important fans are, and we thank you for taking a chance and being our fans. We now return to Hour 2 of Comic Church on K-Talk, AM 1640. Real local two-way comic psycho spiritual talk. With your hosts, Drew the Fairy Godbro, the Reverend Sith Lord Jesse Stay, and the Monsignor of Marvel, Sean Ray. And now we return to the sanctum of spirituality, Comic Church.
Welcome back.
That is some good trumpet.
That is. We got a great sound library that here at K-Talk that we're able to work with.
Those are my favorite songs to play in orchestra. We're actually, I'm going to give a because I play trumpet for Utah Philharmonic, I'm going to give a free plug to them here. There's their next concert is coming up, I think in February. I'll get the exact dates here soon, but we're doing a seafaring theme where we're going to pull in, like, I hear Pirates of the Caribbean will be part of it.
Do you hear have you heard they're
it.
gonna try a reboot of Pirates, but without Johnny Depp?
Yeah, that's another element of news.
Get rid of Johnny Depp.
Without
big.
Johnny Depp, that's dead to me.
Yeah, I mean that's another one where the actor brought in the personality to the role.
He
was even in the ride at Disney.
Exactly. Disney, please don't remake it. Johnny Depp is your John Sparrow. The other one that really got me in is Sabrina. So you remember growing up, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Melissa Joan Hart. That's Sabrina the Teenage Witch for me. I will not watch this new version of Sabrina that's like darker and whatnot on Netflix. Like, stop ruining. Like, I get it, and again, it's probably back to what we were talking about first hour. Yeah. I'm sure that the actors are great, the storyline is great, but you know what? It's not.
Well,
it's not the same.
On that realm, at least they brought back Dick Van Dyke into the new Mary Poppins.
Yes. So have you seen that?
I have not seen it yet. I'm seeing it this week.
He's not a chimney sweeper.
Yeah. So I haven't seen it yet.
He's a bank owner.
I'm looking forward to it. Is it good? Have you seen it, Sean?
My kids have. I've had mixed reviews. I mean, I've heard from my kids, they loved it, but then I had a buddy that went and watched it with his kids, and their kids thought it was okay. They thought they liked the first one better, but obviously you can't compete with the first one.
Yeah.
I have been listening to the soundtrack all week though, and there's a really good what's his name? The Late Show guy that does the
Colbert?
No, not Colbert. He was in Into the Woods. And does the interviews in his car.
Corbin. James
Corbin, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, my mind went completely blank there. But I mean, he's a Broadway star himself,
and also Doctor Who reoccurring character.
Yes, and he got on with Lin-Manuel Miranda and. Again, my mind's going blank. The girl from Mary Poppins and Into the Woods. So she's playing dual role here with both of them. And they do a whole, like, it's like costume change after costume change of playing different roles in different Broadway musicals is beautiful. I shared it on my own Facebook, but
if you could find it, share it
I'll share it in the comments here.
Of the video, yeah.
Worth watching. But yeah, the Mary Poppins looks very good. Another 2018 kind of comic book. And it's all comics. So,
but yeah,
it originated from a book. I guess there was 8 books in that series that Walt Disney wanted, and it was one of those ones that he loved reading to his girls, and so he really fought to get the rights and to be able to make the movie of Mary Poppins.
And in fact, they made a movie about that. Saving Mr. Banks.
Which was really good as well.
with Tom Hanks playing Walt Disney. And here in K Talk we talk about conspiracy theories quite a bit. You've heard the one that Tom Hanks is the secret president of the world, and he's like the head of the Illuminati.
He is going to be Mr. Rogers,
and he's secretly the president of the entire planet Earth. You've heard that one, right?
Hey, I'd be okay with that. I like Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Yeah,
I could accept that. He could be my leader.
Tom Cruise is the president of Planet Xenu.
Oh wow, that's good to know.
Within Scientologist.
Yes, but no, Tom Cruise is actually he is the leader of the deep state. He's the president of Planet Earth, and apparently he's in charge of the Illuminati.
Wow.
According to
he did do the Da Vinci Code.
He did. See, it's all a conspiracy that circles around Tom Hanks. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. Tom Hanks can be my president.
Well, who is God then?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I could accept Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheriff Woody.
Yeah. Why not?
But so that is a legitimate conspiracy theory. People think, Tom Hanks is the leader of this great cabal running the world, and
I'll take Mr. Rogers as my god.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like
be my neighbor.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory I'm chill with.
Hey, that documentary that they did, Won't You Be My Neighbor, or the Mr. Rogers one, that was a pretty good movie.
That's really
I
good.
haven't seen that one. I saw the previews of it.
Very worth it.
Mr.
It
Rogers.
was very, very good. I saw it on the plane. I was flying somewhere, and I saw it on the plane, and I really liked it. Kind of to go in off of that, let's talk a little bit about the movies and everything that came out this last year, 2018.
Yes, I like that idea.
So I pulled up some fun facts. These is as of December 17th. So there has been a few movies that could kind of go in with some of these, can contend with some of these. But let's go from the 10th movie of the year. This is all according to AMC, the movie theater and everything like that. Their 10th highest movie of the year was Solo, Star Wars movie. Now, I like it. I think they did a good job. Number 10, rolling at number 10, a Star Wars movie. I can't complain. They're still in the top 10. They are saying that this is director Ron Howard's third highest grossing film.
That's impressive.
With as much backlash as it's gotten, it still, is a contender for, highest grossing film of one of his. And he has a pretty good plethora of movies that he's done.
Did the Russians also poo-poo on Solo, or was that just the trilogy?
He did.
Because I know they were the ones that really got behind going after that one.
Force Awakens or The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I don't know, but still, for it to land at number 10, I'm pretty happy with that.
Is that a sign it's a good movie if the Russians poo-poo on it?
Well, it depends what their agenda is. If I remember the story right, Kelly Marie Tran, who played Rose.
Great job. Who cares what her ethnicity is? She played and did a great job.
Exactly. And the story is that the Russians fermented the racial divide and pushed a narrative, a fake narrative online, that the fans were attacking her because of her ethnicity, which it doesn't make sense. First of all, we're talking about a movie that has aliens that aren't even human, and we're still worrying about someone of Chinese descent. It just doesn't make sense.
Yep.
No, and that's the thing that just blows me away is these people are so disappointed about someone's ethnicity when they're being cast in the roles next to aliens and all these other people that you don't even know what kind of their ethnicity. So I mean, that's why I can't really think too much into so many people's what their views are and some of this kind of stuff. As long as I liked it, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
that's right.
We're in a galaxy far, far away. Leave your 19th century nonsense behind.
Yeah,
exactly. So So rolling in at number 9 was Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was great. Those movies,
Yes.
I mean, I loved the
I
first
loved
one.
that.
The
I
second
loved that
one
one.
was really good.
It was
a lot
a
of
good
people
one.
were starting to throw in, well, they're trying to make it a female, whatever.
I don't care.
It was awesome. It was
But
humorous.
that movie also laid a lot of the groundwork for Avengers Endgame coming up here next year.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's my play. A lot of people are like, no, it's going to be Captain Marvel that's going to be the key character, and honestly, I think there's going to be this hidden thing of Paul Rudd, Ant-Man.
Oh, absolutely.
The whole it's going to play a huge thing into it, but that's my prediction.
It seems like it. I mean, that's how they're promoting it.
Well,
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah.
be a three.
Number
They're also
8.
promoting it a 3-hour movie, so I'm completely looking forward to that.
I'm totally fine with that.
Everything's on the table.
Yeah. Number 8. Let's go back to Tom Cruise. Let's Mission Impossible Fallout. That was number 8. Number 7.
Interesting.
Jumanji, which is that's one of those surprise hits. I went into it. I didn't want to think too much into it because it's hard to compete with the first one.
Yeah.
Robin Williams, you can't really do much, but I thought they did a great job with it. This one kind of surprised me is number 6, The Grinch.
Yeah, I've heard so many mixed reviews on that one.
I saw it. It's different. I mean, it's hard to make a story out of a 5-minute children's book.
Yeah.
And to have had so many different stories and renditions of it already.
Yeah.
But, I got to support Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, as the voice of the Grinch.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
But
at least they replaced Jim Carrey with another really good actor. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Jumanji. How do you replace Robin Williams? But yeah, that's a good replacement.
And
and
Benedict
it wasn't live
Cumberbatch
action,
was really
so
good.
if it was live action, it'd be a little bit harder because Jim Carrey, the facial, everything that he does is awesome.
Yeah.
But they're saying that this Dr. Seuss, this Grinch, was the 3rd highest grossing Christmas film.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I don't know. All right, let's bring it back to a comic book movie. Number 5, Deadpool 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, that trilogy series. I mean, when they do this next one, I mean, a lot of people say, "What's your favorite trilogy?" I mean, it's going to be hard to find a comic movie that has, which one's going to be the best trilogy because everyone debates it. Is it Thor, Iron Man, Captain America? I mean, we'll see with Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn not doing the 3rd one, but still, these are very, very good movies. And Deadpool, they just knocked those out of the park.
Yeah.
You cannot.
He's quickly becoming my favorite superhero.
Yeah, and that's the thing is he's one of those people that he wasn't really a huge character that not many people knew about. I mean, still, I had a buddy that has a Deadpool tattoo, and this lady saw him working out, and she's like, "Oh, that's a cool Spider-Man tattoo." And he's like, "What?"
That's
what?
funny. Wow.
All right, and then are you guys there?
We're
here. So number 4.
Oh, sorry. Number 4, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
I didn't see that one.
I've heard good things
It's
about
good.
that one.
I mean, you go into it. Don't go into it with high regards. I mean, come on, people. You're going to watch a movie about dinosaurs. So when there's things that are like, well, that can't happen. It's a movie about a dinosaur. Come on, guys.
Yeah. It's,
and then number 3,
it's
this
good.
is one that I was waiting for what is it, 15 years? Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2. Yeah, that was good. I really liked Incredibles 2. That was up there on my list. I thought it was kind of funny how Disney parodied the idea of their own superheroes performing mind control on other people. And this is Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what was number 1?
Well, number 3 was Incredibles 2. Number 2 was Infinity War.
I agree with that.
And it is the 4th highest grossing film of all time.
I believe it. And what was number one?
Brings us to number 1, Black Panther, the 3rd highest grossing film of all time.
That was a really good one, too.
Yeah, I agree with all those. That makes sense. Yeah, Black
Panther
Panther
and
really
it was
good.
great.
They are.
And to think, out of the top 5 alone, 4 of them are superhero movies.
I like that reality. 2018 was good to us when it comes to the superhero movies.
Yeah.
And definitely.
2019 is going to be even better.
Oh yeah, I mean we have the same. Well, we have several more. I mean, we probably have let's see, a dozen movies, comic book type movies coming out this next year.
They are, and we'll be talking about that. We're headed to break, but we'll be right back after this.
Hey there, comic book fans and believers in all things geekdom. This is Pastor Drew, the Fairy God Bro, and I just want to let you know that all of us here at Comic.Church are working hard to build a place that we can all come to, a place of refuge, a place to be edified by the universes that inspire us the most. And this show, it's just the launching off point. We invite you to subscribe to our podcast, Church, using your favorite podcasting service. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, and more. Also, please like our Facebook page, Church on K-Talk. On our page, you'll have a chance to interact with us live each Sunday. Plus, you'll have a chance to hear from us as we post our thoughts, inspirational somethings, and whatnots all throughout the week. We have so much in store for 2019 and into the future, and we invite you to come along and be a part of it. We at Comic.Church know exactly how important fans are, and we thank you for taking a chance and being our fans.
When it's cold outside, warm up with the hottest live local two-way talk. K-Talk Media, 1640 AM.
The essence of sales is transferring enthusiasm to the customer. K-Talk Media is looking for people who have an unabashed enthusiasm for live local radio and who would love to share the message of our station with businesses who would like to tap into our large, loyal audience. Do you want a fun, energetic, and rewarding position with a company that makes a difference? Then join our team and feel the love. Full, part-time, or anytime positions available with great compensation. Call us today, 801-253-4883, 801-253-4883, or go to ktalkmedia.com and shoot us a message.
Stay away from religious topics? Not here on K-Talk. Listen each Sunday evening at 7 p.m. to The Interpreter Show for fascinating religious discussions, hot debates, and the latest in religious scholarship, archaeology, and ancient documents. Whether you're Catholic, Mormon, Protestant, agnostic, and atheist, or something else, you'll want to listen to The Interpreter Show Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. here on K-Talk. You gotta hear it.
Welcome back to Comic.Church on K-Talk.
Sorry.
Welcome back. So, Sean, we had to cut you off going to break. But yeah, number one, you were leaving us with the number one movie of 2018, and that was Black Panther.
Black Panther, yeah. And the thing is with that movie is it has done so much with recognizing so many different types of cultures and everything like that, that, you know, a lot of people didn't realize that, you know, the ethnicity and all these issues and things like that. And it's one of the highest grossing movies, one of the most favorite movies from last year. And I've just heard so many inspiring stories and everything when it came out where, you know, people were renting out movie theaters and bringing schools and stuff like that to this movie because, I mean, it is not only is it an amazing Marvel movie, but there are so many different cultural benefits in that movie that, you know, are pointed out and everything like that. Just little Easter eggs of, you know, cultural diversities and things like that were in that movie that are just awesome.
It was revolutionary.
Oh, yeah.
The things that introduced into modern comic cinema.
Well, and also on top of it, the musician in me, hands down the best soundtrack from Marvel.
Wait till you see Spider-Man Into the Universe. Again, I haven't seen the full movie, but I've read enough reviews and watched it and listened to the soundtrack. It's similar.
And it's similar, but still, there was some epicness to Black Panther's soundtrack that
maybe the score wise, but like some of the music. I mean, Guardians, you can't compete with some of those ones.
Well, they're all good.
I don't typically buy CDs that often anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel's so creative.
I did buy the Black Panther soundtrack. And
I buy them
Jesse,
on LP
right,
when I buy them now.
Yeah, on Amazon. I'm old school. I still like the whole hard disk and everything. But I will go on and listen to them on Spotify, and I have heard that about the Spider-Verse, and I've gone on and listened to the Spider-Verse soundtrack on Spotify, and that might be another one that I might have to go pick up the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's that one. It's not your typical soundtrack for a Marvel movie, and that's what's so awesome about it.
Yeah, and well, technically, still it's a Sony movie, kind of with Marvel input.
Yep.
And that's a lot of people. I mean, one movie that wasn't mentioned on that list was Venom from last year, and a lot of people,
oh yeah,
were surprised by that one because it's in the top hundreds of highest grossing movies, and they weren't projecting it to do that well. And it has made, I don't have the numbers on me, but it's made almost 600 to 800 million. And so you're definitely going to get a sequel to that one.
Yeah.
And that did those numbers were December 17th. So Spider-Verse wasn't on there yet. And so I'm sure that's going to be, in the top 5 because there's a lot of people. It has already been nominated for Best Animated Movie.
Yeah, I keep seeing people talk about it. I haven't seen it yet, but every person who has seen it just talks about how blown away they are by Into the Universe. It looks beautiful. I'm hoping to see it in the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't, and I feel horrible because I haven't seen it yet because I'm waiting for some friends. I promised them I'd go see it with them because they're mad that I always go and see these movies by myself. And I told them it's for a good reason. I don't like to be, questioned like, hey, what's going on here? What's this? What's this? I want to see it a couple times before.
I was just talking to Drew during the break that we've got to get ourselves on the list for movie critics. I've got some friends that get these movies all sent early to be able to write and talk about them. Hey, we run a radio show on movies and such. We need to be getting on that list. So maybe we'll get ourselves in there early.
I know a guy that does it too, and I've watched some movies with him. Jimmy Martin, he's a local movie reviewer and stuff like that, and he's one of the ones that I really follow, and I trust his reviews and everything like that. And so, there's a lot of times when he says, you've got to go see this movie. I no doubt in my mind, I hold high regards to his critiquing of movies and stuff. And I've done some college and stuff like that where I've done movie reviews and things like that, and so I would love it. That would be so fun.
Well, we'll work on that. I think this show deserves that. So coming soon, we'll come a lot more prepared and having seen all the movies ahead of time with some good reviews here.
with our spiritual insight.
That's right.
Added onto it.
Absolutely.
You got to be good.
Exactly.
You don't get spiritual reviews very often. Yeah. That's what we have to bring to the table here.
So the spirituality of it. So that kind of rounds out 2018. There is some other ones on there. Aquaman, I did go and see that the other day. Like I said, I enjoyed it. There were some little things here with CG. I wish they would have held on to it, for a few more months and worked on some of those special effects a little bit more. But for the all in all, for it being underwater and, everything like that, a DC movie, I enjoyed it. I really liked it. They do good when it's a solo character movie.
And then they ruin it when they bring them together.
That's right.
Exactly. And the thing is, they didn't have to tie anything in. They mentioned Steppenwolf. They mentioned a thing here or there, but it didn't take you out of the movie. It didn't take you or anything like that. So, I mean, they did a good job, and they set it up for more to come. And I just think it was beautiful, very well done. The colors, everything, really good. Jason Momoa, he's my Arthur Curry all the way.
Yeah,
awesome.
I hear he was pretty epic in this. I've loved him ever since he was in Stargate Atlantis. So, and actually before that, in Baywatch. So
Baywatch, yeah, I was just gonna say Baywatch.
Oh my God, I wish so hard. Like if I could have one thing in this world, is for the original Baywatch TV show to be on the streaming services.
For all the guys to come running down the beach and save you.
Yes. No, I want Baywatch. It's not streamable. It's not on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. It's not anywhere. Like I want that original.
Right. They need to
1990s Baywatch, all seasons on streaming. Like that show inspired me. Like I became
wasn't
a
allowed
lifeguard
to watch it growing up.
I became a lifeguard as a kid at Wild Rivers in Tustin, California, because I loved watching Baywatch, and all I wanted to do is become a lifeguard someday because of that show.
Oh man, I love Baywatch. PJ Parker and all. Oh man,
great show.
Yeah,
they need to put that on stream.
Even though the remake, I don't know.
They are remaking 90210.
They just
I heard that with the original cast.
With the original cast.
If it's with the original cast, okay. Like they
Fuller
recreated
House.
Charmed.
Yeah.
I don't support that. Fuller House is actually really good.
I like Fuller House.
I like Fuller House.
I love Fuller
I hope
House.
90210 is the same. I hope they do
They
it
did.
similar.
They try to reboot a 90210 not too long ago, but it was all new castings and everything like that.
I think they did, yeah. And the new one has all the original cast, and that's I had the biggest crush on Kelly.
So 90210,
was
remember?
it Kelly with the blonde?
Remember 90210? We're in the 90s here. The teen angst and all that. Like, how are they going to recreate that? Just put 6 kids in a room and they're going to have their teen angst through text message? Like, they can't.
Yeah, they're going to give them their phones, and you're going to watch these kids arguing and living life through their phone in a room.
Yeah, it's kids these days can't even comprehend the level of drama that we were able to get away with in the 90s. So I don't see how they're going to recreate 90210. It doesn't fit in our existence anymore.
So what are we looking at for 2019? Do we want to go into that at all?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This will take the rest of the time out. Okay, so where do we want to start? Okay, let's just start from the first. What we have coming up next is let's stay on Marvel and let's go to Captain Marvel. She is going to be, it's going to kind of be defining Phase 4 of the Marvel Universe.
And it starts in the 90s, like we were just talking about.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't. You need to go and look at your timeline. This is going to predate a lot of the Marvel movies as of yet, except for the first Avenger, Captain America.
And the first part of Ant-Man.
The first, there are little pieces in Ant-Man and stuff like that, and so, that's why I'm curious. Is Peggy Carter going to show up? Is Hank Pym going to show up?
Hope so.
Some of these people, because I think that Agent Coulson's going to come back and make an appearance
with hair.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, he'll have some, and Nick Fury's going to have both eyes.
Yep.
Wow.
And we're going to have an old Peggy Carter.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities in this one, and that's the thing is, this could, in some ways, kind of throw off a lot of the Marvel movies that we've had if they do go the routes with the Skrulls and the Secret Invasion, because that could put any of our heroes at this point. They could be imposters. They could be Skrulls. So that one's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and how they're going to try and tie her into Endgame.
Well, and the fact that they are moving around timelines now, and you know, now with Ant-Man in the quantum realm, and you know his what's her name, Michelle Pfeiffer's character, she's also been down in there. You know, we have people that are futzing around timelines, so you know, could we maybe grandfather paradox one of our heroes that we've fallen in love with so far?
Yeah. She was
And
the original Wasp.
You know,
wasn't she?
that brings us into the Endgame with Scott Lang. I think there's going to be some jumping back to in the past. I think there's going to be jumping into the future. I've read a rumor that his daughter is going to be in it, but they've cast her as an older girl. So his daughter could be a little older. In the comics, she is one of the heroes in the Young Avengers. She does grow and everything. So we have that one. Avengers Endgame comes out in April, the end of April.
Yes.
Now, it was originally slated to be in the 1st of May. I think they bumped it up because they want a worldwide release because they don't want any spoilers. They want everything to be dropped at the same time, all countries and everything like that, because they don't want spoilers. They want everybody to get a chance to watch it.
Well, and also the entire Marvel universe is on hold until they finish it. Like you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on hold until that next movie comes out, and anything that's in current timeline, that happened from the snap heard around the universe, you know, is on hold. So I'm sure they've got
to match the time frame of all that too.
Yeah, and they've done that really good. I mean, I look back at Winter Soldier with Captain America 2 and the S.H.I.E.L.D. They played that, and they, you know, went right down to the same timeline and everything like that, and they did a good job. So, again, this Endgame is the 4th Avengers movie. This movie is going to end Phase 3 of of the Marvel series.
Wow.
So this will be the last phase of 3, and then we'll go into July with Spider-Man: Far From Home, and that's going to start the Phase 4, the new phase of Marvel. And the thing that looks really cool about that is the possibilities are endless. They're working on trying to tie in X-Men now, Fantastic Four. They have all these new characters to play with that it's going to be kind of fun to see where they're going. There's all these rumors that this is Chris Evans' last one. This is Robert Downey Jr.'s last one. I wouldn't hold your breath. I think a lot of these guys, if you know they get enough money thrown at them, they'll come back and make a cameo or make an appearance or something. So I don't know. I wouldn't hold your breath to say that this is the last time we'll see a lot of these characters, but this is the last time that we will see the original Avengers, you know, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man. This will be the last time that we see the originals, on screen together.
It's a big year for Disney. It's culmination of a lot of things for Disney.
Oh, huge. Here. This movie, Endgame, has been one of the ones that it is the most anticipated movie of the next year.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think it is next to Star Wars. I mean, because I want to see the finale of the Skywalker trilogy, the saga. I want to see how they do that, and I want to see what they do with Princess Leia, or you know, see how Carrie Fisher, how that happens, what they do with that character.
And when does the new Star Wars come out?
Star Wars, they're going to slate that. They're going to return that back to the Christmas time.
Okay.
So a year from now.
So that'll be back in December.
It'll be
I think
after
they need to stay.
Star Wars
They need
Land
to own December.
opens. Although for Disney World, I think the Star Wars Land in Disney World opens around that same time, so that actually could be good timing for them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of.
Go ahead, John.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just saying, a lot of people were wondering, do you think if Solo would have dropped in December, if it would have been, you know, that much better, you know, welcome instead of them trying to do a new release date in the middle of the year.
I definitely think it might have been better, yeah. So we're coming up here to a commercial break here, and we'll be wrapping up our last segment coming back from the break. But, you know, we've reviewed 2018. We're previewing 2019. You know, and when we come back, I think let's wrap it all up with a nice spiritual message on top, something to inspire people into 2019. How about that? You're listening to Comic.Church on K-Talk. We'll be right back after the break.
The Kubota L2501 tractor is one of the best-selling compact tractors in America for a reason. They're comfortable, spacious, easy to control, and have a range of performance-matched implements to tackle all kinds of jobs. Right now, get a Kubota L2501 with a 6-year warranty, plus 0% APR financing for up to 60 months, or great customer instant rebates. Now through December 31st, 2018. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
When the fake news stations are slick as ice this winter, cut through with K-Talk Media, your favorite local talk station.
AARP is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to empowering Americans 50 and older to choose how they live as they age. No limits, no labels. Aging is changing. Visit aarp.org/UT for more information. Make the most of each day with AARP.
The weekend is coming, and you need to plan a date night. You could go to a movie and dinner, but there's nothing original about that. Here's a new and exciting idea. Take your date indoor shooting at the Armory Gun Range. Instead of renting a bowling lane or playing miniature golf, yay, you can rent a shooting lane at the Armory Gun Range. Impress your spouse or your date with your original plan. The Armory can provide both guns and ammo, and rookies are welcome.
I would be excited if my boyfriend took me shooting. The Armory is located in Sandy at 9210 South and 248 West. The phone number is 801-447-1789. Again, that is 801-447-1789. You can also check out their website at armoryshootingrange.com. The range is open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
The Armory Gun Range, blowing holes in boring date nights.
Welcome back, comic fans. We now return to Comic.Church, leaving you right where we left off before the break. And now here's your host, Pastor Drew the Fairy Godbrother, the Monsignor of Marvel, Sean Ray, and the Reverend Sith Lord himself, Jesse Stay.
Welcome back. For our Facebook viewers, I forgot to change the video over to commercial, so you got a chance to see me giving Jesse a
in our evidently matching shirts, which don't match.
Wait, he's pink and blue. I'm red and black.
That's
so.
right.
But it's like the Laurel Yanni.
I know.
It's like it whichever reality you choose. Speaking of which,
right.
did you see the new Laurel Yanni? Like, I'm afraid to even talk about it on here because we might violate FCC. Sean, you know what I'm talking about because I sent this.
Yeah, the Grover.
Message. Yeah,
Grover.
So there's a clip of Grover saying, I'll say what he actually is saying. So he's saying, I think that's an excellent idea.
I think that's an excellent idea.
But it sounds like he also says that's a effing excellent idea.
That's an effing idea.
And if you listen to both, it's a Laurel Yanni situation again. Depending on what you're thinking, that's what you hear. And honestly, it is a full mind trip going back and forth.
Very lovable Grover.
So
can I say that on air?
I play the clip, but I'm afraid the FCC will come after us because they might hear Yanni when really he's saying Laurel. But go listen to, go look that up on your personal.
I voiced it for you.
Put the link onto the church talk.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Because I played it, and the first 2 or 3, I heard the expletive, but then I knew what he was saying, and then from there I couldn't pick it up anymore. I couldn't hear the F word. But
I know.
I showed it to some friends, and they're like, Yeah, that's all they heard was the F word.
It's one of those, if you think of it one way, it'll come out that way. If you think of it the other way, it'll come out the other way. That's how it worked for me.
It works both ways. So yeah, we'll throw that into the comment section. Yeah, it's insane. It plays with your mind. Like look at it one way, hear it, and you'll hear that. Then look at it the other way, and then play it, and you'll hear that.
So it reminds me a lot of Taylor Swift's song. What's the name of it? I'm pulling it up here, where it sounds like she's talking about Starbucks and Starbucks lovers, and it's.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right. That's right. That's what I thought it was for quite some time. In Blank Space, all the lonely Starbucks lovers is what it sounds like. And in reality, what is it? It's got a long list of ex-lovers is what it is. But similar thing where like you say something one way, it's if there's something that immediately pops out to individuals that is mouthed in a very similar way, it'll come out that way to the individual is what they're thinking of.
Well, let's take it meta.
And
Let's
go
meta on this. So, and we talk about this on our show often on church, but reality, and we've talked about how, we exist. I believe we exist in a reality where there's 7.6 billion individual holographic projectors projecting their own reality on the same canvas. And we could go that.
There's science that supports that.
But then there's this. I posted this on Facebook. What if I told you that we exist in a reality where nothing really matters, while simultaneously existing in a reality where everything matters, and that both realities can be true and coexist within the same construct? And it kind of goes along the same lines. There's a reality where Grover is dropping the F-bomb. There's a reality where Grover isn't.
Yeah.
There's a reality where Taylor Swift is talking about her Starbucks lovers. And both realities can coexist depending on perspective.
All my lovers have Starbucks. They have to.
But
you better bring me Starbucks.
Yeah, I brought my own coffee.
Yes, I brought, for those that have been watching the thing, yes, I am drinking with a straw in an entire jug of Simply Orange juice. I'm trying to fight I went down to Utah County, and I breathed. It was really, my nephew's like, it's really smoggy here. I'm like, no, it's Utah County. They're so arrogant. It's called smug. And so I have a sore throat.
Sorry, Utah County.
I have a sore throat, so I've been pounding the orange juice today, trying to get my vitamin C daily load exceeded by like 3,000%, and it's working so far.
That's awesome.
But no, reality is what you perceive it, and both realities can coexist.
Mm-hmm.
And so, taking it back to meta, being metaphysical here, allowing the possibility that everybody's reality also can exist, and now learning how to coexist within each other's realities. Like,
yeah. I've had multiple conversations this week that it always drives someone crazy because they always have an opinion. But it's so fun to start the conversation because everyone disagrees when you're actually agreeing with them. And I say, what if all the churches are true? And the truth is, the truth is, I mean, in each of our own individual realities, they are. And
let me challenge you on that, though, because
see, I just got Drew going.
No, well, I'm going to challenge you on one aspect. So churches are organizations. They're structures of control.
Yeah.
So what if we change that, instead of all churches are true, what if all spirituality or all religions?
Yeah,
religions
I
are a bad
mentioned
word
one
too.
case,
Like,
all the religious creeds
Yeah.
were true, which is more focused on the teaching.
Like, take the politics out of it, take the earthly organizations out of it, and just go with the core doctrines of what they preach.
Yep, and in reality, that that's I mean, a religion is just a structure. It's
a brand.
It's a brand. But the underlying creeds, the teachings, the spirituality underneath, they are all true. They may not be the same across the board to each of us individually, but the one that we believe in and that we've accepted, the spirituality creeds, whatever we do want is that we've accepted.
I'm going to challenge you on the word true. because I think that's a cultural carryover. Like, define true. Like
true means that true means that it is something that you have accepted in your reality.
Well, truth is also a relative term.
It is something that exists in your reality is what true is.
But it's a relative term that can easily be defined.
That you can argue.
So instead of true, because I grew up Mormon. We all did in this. All of our hosts here. But and so I believe this church is true. Okay, that's a actual relative measurable thing. So if 10% of it isn't true, but 90%, does that still make it true? So relevant. I think might be I believe this church is relevant. I believe this teaching is relevant because true is a measure.
Well, look at the opposite of truth. It's lie. And if you are being authentic to yourself and your own reality with what you believe, that's a truth to you.
But truth is relative in that aspect. So let's look at another way. Oxygen has 2 electrons. That is truth. That it doesn't change. H2O. That does not change. That is a defined truth. You remove anything that stops being water. That is true.
Based on theory and mathematics that we've proven through other means off of evidences.
Yeah, but these are we breathe
so even
oxygen,
those aren't 100%.
But whereas
scientifically yes.
What I believe in my heart is true. That's not necessarily like measurable, like 2 electrons, 1.
But you've measured it in some way that makes sense to you.
But is true the right word? Or is it more relevant?
I think to you it is true. But, to the general overall scientific community or to society, sometimes it's not.
I don't know. I think you guys have truly lost me.
and that's my point is that in each of our individual realities, we've tested this in our own realities. When I was in one religion, I had tested that and come up with my own reality and truth. I continued testing it and found other truths that took me into new realities. But I do think that truth is the measurement of the reality that you exist in right now, that you've applied measurement to. And there's overall...
But someone's truth can be someone else's lie.
It can be.
Which therefore doesn't it stop being a
We're all everyone is living a lie and everyone is living a truth. It's
Schrodinger's existence.
Yep, it's exactly what it is, and
wow, we're getting into quantum.
That's why we can all just if we just learn to accept each other. The fact is, someone else is living a truth in their reality. That's okay. I'm living a truth in my reality. What I'm trying to get to is living the truth that all realities have truth in them. And
but is your reality a zero-sum game where everybody else's reality has to be at loss, so your reality can be a gain?
Well, that's what people have to question themselves.
And we just describe religion.
Yeah. I mean, we can describe where our reality lives and set an example of what our reality is and where we stand, but it's still their truth if they choose not to accept that.
True,
and that's okay.
Do you know what is a standard truth? A standard work of
a marvelous work in glory?
Something like that. The comic universe. We can all agree.
The standard of truth.
The standard of truth has been erected by Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And
and it was a marvelous work in glory.
Yes, and
the field is white already to harvest.
But no, and that's the great thing about the spiritual universes that we preach in.
Yeah.
Is it's not a zero-sum game. You can love Star Wars, and I could love Doctor Who, and we don't have to annihilate each other for our spiritual universes to exist.
That's right.
And that's
the whole
you
point.
Mentioned that you want to kind of give something for the next year for people to think on, and that kind of stuff right there is. I'm not a Whovian. I've watched some episodes. I've given it a shot. So you don't knock it before you try it or anything like that. But love everybody. I mean, just because Drew likes Doctor Who, I'm not going to sit there and tell him I think it's dumb or this or that or whatever. That's his thought. That's his opinion.
Yeah.
That's his truth. and let them, that's fine. That's fine. I believe in the glory of Captain America and whatever, and that's what we need to do is just be glad that we have these options, that we have these available to us right now, and that there are so many more coming out, and there's so much more going on that we all have joys to be a part of. So we don't need to, there's even people that are diehard Star Wars. Just because you're new into it doesn't mean that you should start knocking down these people that are, new into these, that have known it for years or whatever. Enjoy the fact that you have these new fans coming in and everything like that, and enjoy what they have that are coming out, and be grateful for that.
Yeah, I think Bart Ehrman, I was trying to pull up the quote, but I'm not going to have it here, but Bart Ehrman, who's a well-known biblical scholar, talks about the idea of despite any historical inaccuracies or whatever within the Bible, which you could apply into the comic universe and elsewhere, they're still beautiful stories, and they're things that certain people and many people have accepted as beautiful applications and stories into their lives. So why would we ever knock someone else's truth? And that's the truth I like to live, is accepting the truths that everyone else has accepted, regardless of what it is, and whether I actually have accepted them into my truth or not. And that is my truth.
Yeah.
I've accepted that.
And that is beautiful. We're wrapping up in our last minute. I think going into 2019, we all should work on, eliminating the zero-sum mentality where for me to win, everyone has to lose. And, we see it in every aspect. And I think we need to reject that. Return to sender with consciousness attached, as we say. And just let everyone live their own realities and be kind to each other, love one another, and everything else in between. And I think that's 2019 is going to be a much better year and a fantastic year with movies coming out. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I'm excited. This is going to be a fun year.
You're listening to Church on K-Talk, AM 1640, real local, two-way talk. We'll be back next week.
Enough said.
Hey there, comic book fans and believers in all things geekdom. This is Pastor Drew, the Fairy God Bro, and I just want to let you know that all of us here at Comic.Church are working hard to build a place that we can all come to, a place of refuge, a place to be edified by the universes that inspire us the most. And this show, it's just the launching off point. We invite you to subscribe to our podcast, Church, using your favorite podcasting service. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, and more. Also, please like our Facebook page, Church on K-Talk. On our page, you'll have a chance to interact with us live each Sunday. Plus, you'll have a chance to hear from us as we post our thoughts, inspirational somethings, and whatnots all throughout the week. We have so much in store for 2019 and into the future, and we invite you to come along and be a part of it. We at Comic.Church know exactly how important fans are, and we thank you for taking a chance and being our fans.
Is found at Match.com/mix. That's Match.com/mix. Match.com/mix.
Whether it's for weight loss, blood sugar control, or just overall health, millions of people have been helped by low-carb diets, also known as ketogenic diets. But for most people, it's hard to get the right balance of protein and nutrition needed to succeed, especially when on the go. That's why Youngevity created Keto FX bars and shakes. They work together as a low-carb, high-protein team to help you thrive on your low-carb diet. When you grab a Keto